Ba-da-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-da-bum. Ba-da-ba-da-bum, ba-ba-da-ba-da-bum. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. Hello, everybody. I am just getting my stuff together here. Okay, there we go. Hey, Roulette and Joe. How are you guys? Okay. Woofda. Just getting things set up here. All right. Roulette and Joe, you are a yes. Where did my pencil go? All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday evening. We are here. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to pull some cards. So, the way this works, if you haven't been here before, we're going to do some medicine cards. Hey, Esperanza. Hey, Deb. So far, we've only got 2 people that have indicated a yes, which means they get a 1 card reading. So anyone else, feel free to comment yes. I'm just lighting some sage so I can smudge my cards. All right, Esperanza. Deb, were you looking for a card? Awesome. All right. So, again, I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and welcome. I am so glad you could join me tonight. The way this all works, if you would like a 1 card reading, just comment yes, and the first 6 people will get a free 1 card reading. And don't worry if you're not one of those 6, because I always pull an extra card at the end for everyone. Oh, okay, awesome. Thanks, Deb. So I'll put you in parentheses. If there's room at the end. Thank you. That's very kind of you. So Deb and Nancy are on the list in parentheses in case there aren't enough people. I think last week there were a whole bunch of people because I had actually had the time and presence of mind to mention this on Instagram. So this week might be a little slower. Oh, hey, Michelle. Happy mutual birthday. Michelle and I have, Thursday was our birthday, our mutual birthdays. I can't remember how, it was 10 years. Oh, I hope you did too. Thanks, Michelle. Was it 10 years and 12 hours or something difference, roughly, between our birthdays? So, all right. So far we've just got three people who are going to get a reading. And like I said, I will pull an extra card at the end for everybody, whether they get a 1 card reading or not, so that everybody gets covered. 9 years and 10 hours. That is amazing. I miss you, Michelle. I wish I get to see you more often. I always enjoy your company. So, I hope you had a good day too. All right, so for people who are new, these are the cards, a medicine card deck with the beautiful art of the totem animals. Each animal has a different medicine, which is why they're called medicine cards, but it's the Native American definition of medicine, which is more like energy, power, that kind of thing. It's like chi, like life force, medicine. So each animal has its own significance, its own messages. So whichever animal pops up for you tells you what is going on or what you might need to know. All right. Michelle, did you want a card? Only got 3, possibly 5 people so far. Might be a slow night tonight because like I said, I didn't post about it on Instagram or anything, which is okay because I'm a little tired. Awesome, Michelle got you down. So, thank you everyone for joining. God, I keep saying that over and over again. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Oh, hey, Jennifer. Awesome. I'm awesome. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So Jennifer gets a card. And so the one thing that I do ask if you are watching this is if you could please share this video. You can tag someone in the comments. You can share it to your wall or a page or a friend's wall or whatever. But just kind of as our energy exchange, the reciprocity. That would be very kind of you, and I would appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Roulette, you are first. I saw you pop on like almost immediately, like almost before I did. So, all right. For our friend Roulette. I got this song in my head that has been in my head for at least 2 weeks now. It keeps leaving and then coming back. It's the most insidious earworm. Stacy's mom has got it going on. Who knows where that came from? Ba-da-ba-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-dum, ba-da-ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da-bum. All right, Roulette. Hey, Valerie. All right, and you are our number 6. Woohoo! And Deb and Nancy, if I'm not too verbose tonight, I'll pull one for you too, but don't tell anyone. If we have time. All right, Roulette. Ha! Roulette. I got no strings to tie me down. Awesome. All right, Roulette, you got Frog. Hey, Froggy baby. Frog is about cleansing. Thank you, Deb. Oh, hey, Leslie. It's funny, I just talked last week. I do, every Sunday, I do a pipe ceremony at Stargazers in Bellevue, which if anyone is local, that you are more than welcome. It's open to the public. It's free at Stargazers from 11 to 12. And so I lead the sacred pipe ceremony. I do a little talk. And last week I talked about frog medicine. And frog medicine is about cleansing. It's like, how do I put it? Frog is kind of the Leslie, we've already got our 6, but I will pull a card at the end for everybody. But like I didn't say it tonight. So if you're not getting a card for yourself at all, if you're not getting a personal card, pay attention to what I say for everyone else, because this is a community thing, right? And like they say, even like you dream for your community. When you have a dream and you share that dream, it touches more than just you. It's for everyone. And so listen to all the other readings, see what might resonate with you, because if you have specific questions or whatever, or even if you don't, you might hear something that just ching, bings, it like lifts your heart. That is your message as well. So I'm talking about frog medicine. I was talking about frog medicine last week at our circle. And usually when frog comes up, I think about it more in terms of outer world situations, outer world people. Because with frog is kind of the patron saint of empaths. Frog sits in the pond and just soaks things in through osmosis. He doesn't drink water. He just soaks it in through his skin. And so basically whatever's in the water is going to be in frog. So he has to be in clean water. And so if he finds himself in water that isn't clean, isn't pure, he will hop to another pond until he finds clean water. There's actually a saying that goes, it's not so much where you find water, you find frog, but where you find frog, you find water. Because frog will try to be in the cleanest water they possibly can. And so, like I said, I used to think about it just mostly in outer world terms, like if you're in a relationship or a situation or a job or whatever it might be that is toxic. It's important to hop away, to hop toward a cleaner environment, because you are an empath, because you do soak in what's around you. So it's important to surround yourself with those things that reflect your deepest, highest essence. And that's still a part of it. And if there's a situation you're in that you can't leave because of, certain things, like I know in our mundane world that you can't always just up and leave something, right? It's important to have set aside a time and a space for you to bask in your own energy away from anyone else's, and surround yourself by artwork, surround yourself with music that speaks to your heart, that reminds you who you are on a divine level. So that is one part of frog medicine. The other part, last week, actually, I was sitting at the river where I go for ceremony, and I was sitting and I had my pipe on my lap. I was sitting in meditation, and it was just like all these, like this information, this downloads just kept coming and coming. And it wasn't like even in words or information, it was just a sense of peace and love and all of those things. And I realized that I felt like I was a frog in this pond, and I was soaking in all this love and truth and goodness. And it was like, oh, so it's not just the outer world, that's important too, but it's about feeding ourselves those thoughts and those beliefs, and the things that are true about us, not the doubts and the fears, so that when you do get your time alone, when you do get that space and time to yourself away from everyone else, it's important not just to control is not the right word. Thank you, Zoomy little car. But not just to surround yourself on the outside, but to come from the inside out and fill yourself with your love. Sorry, Aiden. No, we've got all 6, but if you want to hang in there, I'm going to pull a card at the end for everybody. So it's like Abraham Hicks talks about, you know, if a thought makes you feel bad, reach for the higher. If you've got a choice of thoughts, if you're thinking thoughts that make you feel less than, reach for the better feeling thought, right? That's funny, Deb. That must have been the grasshopper frog roaring by. Yeah, and so it's not just about the outside, but it's about filling ourselves up from the inside with that love and that divine essence that we really are. For you know, and then like Martha Beck talks about the shackles on and the shackles off feeling. That if a thought makes you feel like the shackles went on, if it feels limiting in any way, and like even when I do that, it's like I kind of hunch my shoulders. It's like playing small. If any thought makes you feel that way, it is intrinsically wrong. Not wrong as in good and wrong, good or bad, but it is untrue. Any thought that makes you feel like the shackles came off, like it, even just a little bit, if it lifts you just a little bit, it's true, or it's aiming toward what is true, because you are, in your essence, divine light and love. There is nothing that can limit you. There is no one and nothing more powerful than you, or more worthy than you, or more valuable than you. So anything that makes you feel less of a value is untrue. If you feel that way, then it's like, okay, this thought, this belief is not true. And so I'm going to reach for the feeling of the shackles off, where I feel like I am greater than this. Does that make sense? And so, like, for me, when frog comes up, it's a good time to work with affirmations, right? A lot of people, I actually had someone quit. I was teaching the year-long class on shamanism, and this person had come to the first class, and I mentioned that the second class we were going to be talking about the importance of words and walking in beauty and affirmations. And they were like, and they quit. They quit after after one class, really, because like, I know all that stuff. And I'm like, apparently you don't. But affirmations, I know they get a lot of bad press, or they're kind of like laughed off as some kind of new agey, airy-fairy, whatever kind of stuff. But they work. When you continually repeat those affirmations, you're actually rewiring your brain to look toward solutions, to look toward opportunities and possibilities, rather than to always be focusing on the problems and the challenges. In fact, my favorite affirmation, no matter what the circumstance, I'll say, only good can come of this. Or my other one that I've been using for over 30, 40 years is there's a completely harmonious solution. There is always a completely harmonious solution. And so it rewires your brain, and it reminds you, a lot of times when we say affirmations, we feel like we're lying because, well, it's obviously not true because I'm not strong and I'm not courageous or whatever it is. But the truth is you are. It feels like lying because you're not believing yourself, but it's affirming what is true. That's the point. So that our feelings and our emotions might be kind of rough seas and carrying us up and down and back and forth. But when we have that mental North Star of truth to say, I am divine, I am taken care of, I am loved, nothing can stand against that. And so you're affirming that. And as you continue to affirm that, the feelings and the thoughts that are counter to that will start to fall away. So fill your world. And even like I've mentioned this before, I have a dry erase marker in my bathroom, and I'm constantly writing affirmations on my bathroom mirror because I'll see them at least twice a day, right? And it's about affirming because we're in the process of awakening. We're in the process of remembering. In this world, we have this kind of veil of forgetfulness so that we can't really see or know who we really are. But as we grow and evolve, it's a process of casting off the layers and layers of untrue things that have been cast upon us to remember who we really are, to awaken. It's called awakening for a reason because right now we're dreaming. Especially when we're taught that we're worthless and that everyone else is more important than us. And we have to make sure everyone else is happy, even if it's sacrificing our own happiness. Those things, again, like the shackles on, it makes you feel like just weak or worthless. Or if everyone else isn't happy, then you don't have any business being happy, right? You are the priority in your life. And I keep saying the same thing over and over, but you are divine by nature. There is nothing that is beyond you. So any thoughts, any beliefs that say you're less than that are untrue. So fill your head, fill your heart with truth. And it's amazing how that will ripple out into your world. And your outer world will start to reflect that, start to reaffirm that. Because even if you don't believe you're strong, even if you don't believe you're courageous, when you keep saying it, and the thing is, it's not just about the words either. It's about bringing the feeling of that for just a moment. Even if you don't believe you're courageous, what would it feel like if I were courageous? And just to picture that and bring it into your heart where you can feel that courage. And if you can't find it on your own, that's what mythology, that's what stories, that's what heroes are for. They're to help us find that courage that we can't find in ourselves right away. They're an outer reflection of our courage, especially when we can't find it ourselves, right? So don't look behind the curtain. Where is she? Hold on 1 second. For the 10 plus years, I was going through anxiety and panic attacks. I believed myself weak. I was a wimp. I couldn't handle anything. And something happened that helped me change that. Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Let's see if I can get her. Ugh. Oh, can't get her started to work. when I couldn't find my own courage, when I started having panic attacks, is exactly the time that Xena started on TV. She became my courage. She became my fierceness. When I couldn't find it in myself, I would lean on her. And it kind of like that whole, what would Jesus do? I'd be like, what would Xena do? And I would see in her the courage that I couldn't find in myself. But because I could see it in her, I could imagine what it was like. So that's what heroes are for, whether they're fictional or real, because even real heroes are still mythology in a way, because you never know the real person. Like, I grew up on Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett. And my version was the Fess Parker version, the Disney version, right? The TV version of Daniel Boone. But that's what I needed as a kid to kind of keep me in that, gave me that sense of confidence, of being okay with who I was, even if I were different from everyone else and all of that kind of thing. So that's what your heroes are for. That's what your mythologies are for. Whatever mythologies, whatever stories fill you with that sense of strength. I mean, I used to watch Tarzan movies, and I couldn't help but go outside and start swinging from the branches. I'd be outside, I'd be climbing trees, because I couldn't not. I'd watch Tarzan, and I would just be filled with that energy of the jungle, and so those things are not just your imagination, because if you can imagine it, you can. It's part of you. And I actually wrote a comic where I actually did a journey, and I met Xena. I did a shamanic journey to meet Xena, to thank her for saving my life during that period of my life. And what she said was that she didn't do anything. I'm like, yes, you did. And she was like, no, you already had all the courage and the strength. I just put it into a format that you could understand it, that you could see it. And it's just like, I just got chills. So, yeah. So fill yourself with strength. Fill yourself with love. Know there is nothing wrong with you. And when you can, find that time and that space for you. It's essential for you to have time and space alone, away from everyone else. Not to get away from everyone else, but to go toward your own essential self. Okay? I hope that helps. That was a really long explanation. All right, Joe, you are up. I would laugh if Mouse comes up for you again, Joe. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, ba, dum, ba, ba, bum. Oh, you're welcome, Roulette. Okay, Joe. Joe, you got frog too. It came up reverse for you, actually. So, let me feel into that. Joe, for you, and you heard me shuffling, right? I shuffled the cards. Joe, what I'm feeling kind of the, I'm feeling the need for some self-care. I'm feeling that extra sensitivity of frog, you know, it's almost what, okay, so what my guides are saying, I don't know if this will make sense, but until you can, for right now, you are very sensitive, you're in a very vulnerable place, and until your skin can thicken, I keep feeling that, you know, light, flimsy skin of frog is like until your skin thickens, it's good to have a boundary that it's time, kind of like what I said for roulette about finding time and space for yourself, but it's more important for you it's time to kind of batten down the hatches, to kind of hunker down. I would even say, if it's possible, like even take a couple of days off of work if you can. I think it's really important for you to get, like, if you can work it, to get like even a couple of days on your own, even if you went and rented a motel room or something just to sit and be on your own, to read, to write, to do whatever you want to do. Even if you just sat the whole time and just watched movies or something. It's like there's a need for a reset. That's kind of what it is. Things have been taking their toll on you, and there's a need to remove yourself from those things so that you can come back stronger. Does that make sense? And there's kind of this thing about it's part of your awakening process. They keep showing me the tadpoles. I don't usually talk about that part, but frog is also about transformation, right? They start as tadpoles, and they lose their tails, and they go from being a totally underwater creature to an amphibian who lives underwater and above water. And so it's like in this process of transformation, interesting. Okay, thank you guys. Getting all kinds of new stuff coming in. So the tadpole is basically, like I was talking earlier about the illusion and the dream of the world. The tadpole is pretty much immersed in that world, right? There's nothing else. It might be, oh, there's air up there, but I'm a water creature. I breathe down here. I've got all the food in my tail that I need. And as you start to transform and need to breathe air and spirit in many languages is synonymous. And so as you're coming up, transforming from this tiny creature that's just in the water, but into a bigger one that needs air, that can live in both worlds, it's like you're at that stage where you're getting there, but it's like that vulnerability of birth where, the innocent, the being kind of vulnerable to the weather, to the seasons, to whatever's going on around you. So there's more of a need right now to protect yourself. I'm not really the biggest fan of that word, but yeah, to like hold boundaries, to kind of isolate away from the rest of the world in order to reset, to find your own energy, like to feel the baseline, what your energy is without the influence of anyone else's, so that when you do come back into the world, you know who you are and you know what isn't you, so that when you start to feel things or people start to override what you know, you can better find your way through it because you know what is true for you. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that is helpful, and that's not something I say very often, like telling, oh yeah, you need to take a couple days off of work. Awesome, really? You told him that 2 days ago. Take some time off. You need a vacation. You need a vacation. You're welcome. And you deserve a vacation. You deserve, you are meant, not, and it's not deserve as in you have to earn the right to relax. It's your right to relax. It's your right to be happy. And it's time to reclaim that right of happiness, that right to feel good. Again, that's what Abraham Hicks talks about. It's like, you are meant to feel good. It's your right, your birthright to feel good. So take care of yourself, please. All right, Esperanza, you are next. All right, Esperanza, you got the squirrel. Squirrel is it's funny because squirrel's been coming up a lot lately. Like most of the readings I've done in the past week, squirrel has come up. And I kept finding myself say this, and you probably won't hear this anywhere else. But for some people, with squirrel medicine, distraction is part of the path. Most of the time, and I will too, most of the time I'll tell people like go on the distractions, focus on who you are. But squirrel focuses on the distractions. He focuses on the shiny things, you know, the nuts and the acorns he finds. And so he's all over the place. And I want to say this, there is nothing wrong with you. Your mind, and I've told other people this too, and I had to realize this about myself, the way your mind works is different from the way that most other people's do. And so we get overwhelmed easily, and we tend to tell ourselves because there's something wrong with us, because we're slow, because we can't take it all in. The thing is that your brain actually works faster than anyone else's. So that not only are you hearing the words that someone is telling you, you're paying attention to all the expressions, you're hearing all the noises in the background, you're monitoring this or that or whatever is going on. So because of all that, it's like when everyone's using the internet, how slow your computer gets or your TV reception, whatever. The fact is your mind works faster than most people. And so because it's geared toward doing all these little things all over the place, gathering those nuts, gathering those acorns, gathering this nourishment from all kinds of resources. Squirrel is about resourcefulness. And it's in that gathering of the acorns, that gathering of the nuts. It's about abundance. It's about being in the present moment, and that whole attitude of gratitude, right? Like, thank you for this acorn, receives it, buries it, returns it to the earth, opens his arms to receive the next acorn, buries that in the earth. So it's this flow, a currency, right? It's this abundance moving through, and you become a part of that flow. And so being like squirrel, doing what squirrels do, their joy is in finding these happy surprises, these acorns and nuts and whatever else, and then burying them. And so by staying in the present moment, in that gratitude, and then returning it to the earth, come that cold winter day, he's like, I had that great big acorn. I buried it over there. I'm going to go get it now. And so by being present in every moment, every future moment is taken care of as well. You don't have to think 5 or 10 moves ahead, right? By focusing on what is a present right here, right now, you're all actually guided toward the fulfillment of every future moment. It's not about squirreling things away for a rainy day. We have the whole backwards thought on squirrel. We think it's about sacrificing the moment for some rainy day time when we're going to need it. So that's when squirrel comes up reverse. Then it's survival. But squirrels thrive. They're everywhere, and they're always happy, and they're always busy, but they're busy having fun. They're always playful. They're chasing each other. They're jumping through the trees. They're chattering, telling off the neighbors, right? So know that it's okay. You know, we're taught the straight and narrow. And even a lot of spiritual paths, it's like, nope, eyes forward, put on the blinders, don't pay attention to the distractions. But for you, you're meant to pay attention to all the shiny things, all those, whatever brings you joy, that is your direction. And you get that joy from all kinds of different resources, not just one tree, one place, one person. And just like squirrel, who can't remember where he buried every single acorn and nut, they're actually responsible for growing entire forests, which then benefits everyone, because then you went from one acorn that the squirrel received and buried to an oak tree that drops thousands and thousands of acorns for the benefit of everybody. So even those things that you might not reap the benefits of right away, it comes back with interest. It's like putting something in the bank, and it comes back with interest. And you'll get thousands and thousands of acorns rather than just one. Okay? So be easy with yourself. Know that you are different. You are unique. And that your brain does work differently from other people's. And that it's not a curse. It's a superpower. It really is. Because come that winter day when everyone else is starving and stuff, you'll be the one with all the different resources, the different connections, saying, oh, wait a minute, I know the guy. I know this person that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you have access to all kinds of resources that others don't, because you play the field. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that does. I hope that's helpful. I hope that helps. All right. Just looking in the comments. Michelle, my friend, the mutual birthday. It's your turn. All right. I didn't even have to shuffle. A card just jumped out. Michelle, you got grouse. Grouse is about the spiral dance, which is, in other words, the dance of life. Everything, okay, I'll put it this way. Anything that doesn't move is dead. Which is weird to say because everything is alive. And so, you know, okay, I'm going to, let me pause for a moment. Like when you have water, if it doesn't move, it becomes stagnant, right? It becomes dead and nothing can live in it. There's no air in it. Anything that doesn't move becomes stagnant, becomes lifeless. And the spiral dance, everything that is alive has to move. And it's that spiral. Everything moves in the spiral. I always forget what that's called, but that, you know, the golden mean, that spiral with the rectangles that are, I never can remember what that's called, but it's that. That is the spiral of life. And it's the spiral that connects us to all life. From the biggest galaxies, galaxy clusters, to storms, hurricanes, down to pine cones and seashells, and down to our own DNA. Everything dances in a spiral. And so, this is about finding your connection to all things. But not from the place of, you know, like, oh my God, the universe is so big and I'm so small, I'm insignificant, I have no meaning, you know. It's more of, I am part of this entire universe, and therefore I have a unique place in the universe, like an individual cell in someone's body, right? You came here for a specific purpose within the bigger spiral dance, to do your own spiral dance within that framework. And if you weren't here, the universe would collapse because there would be something missing. So it's like dancing your own dance, finding that purpose. The fact that grouse is upright, it's kind of like that's what you're doing. You're finding that. It's almost like finding your second wind. And grouse drum, when they beat their wings, they create the same phenomenon as thunder. Literally, they beat their wings in a way that they create a vacuum, and then the air slams back together. And so it's like, it's actually more palpable than audible. You can feel it more than you can hear it. And so it's about that drum, and this is where you feel it. I woke up in the woods with the grouse drumming before, and it's like boom, boom, boom. It's the heartbeat. It's finding your own heartbeat, your own drum beat within the bigger collective to sing your own individual unique song, because it's about harmony. We're not meant to be homogenized. We're not meant to sing the same song, right? We all have different parts, just like an orchestra, all the different instruments. And even within the instruments, it's like you've got the first violins, the second violins, the third violins, and they each play their own parts within that, right? And by each one playing their own part, you get this beautiful music, the universe, right? And so sing your song, celebrate your own unique vibration. You know, we're talking music, right? Vibration. And celebrate the beauty that you bring. This red thing on the side of his neck is an air sac, and he's got one on the other side too. And when he dances, it blows up bigger than his head. And they also boom, 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 boom as he's dancing. And so it's about letting your true colors show. It's not necessarily about dancing like, look at me, but it's about dancing your dance unapologetically. Okay? Because the more you do that, the more you give other people permission to find their own drum beat, to march to their own drum beat. The more we each as individuals find our own heartbeat, find our own purpose, our own joy, our own bliss, it makes it easier for everybody else to find theirs, because the tide raises all ships, right? The more you raise your own frequency, the more you raise everybody's frequency. When we all do better, we all do better. So thank you for being that beautiful dancer. You used to dance, didn't you? That's how you and my friend Takini know each other, right? So dance, dance, dance. Whatever you're doing, it's a dance. Allow yourself to enjoy it, to be in the flow, and to remember that just like dance, your purpose is not to get to the end. There's no place you're heading for. You're meant to enjoy the entire dance, every movement, every flow, and thereby contributing to the dance of life itself. So thank you for being that dancer. And again, happy mutual birthday. All right, Jennifer, you are up. I don't think I've ever done a... Did I do a read? I don't know if I've ever done a reading for you, Jennifer. Let's see what comes up for you. I've got Dancing Queen in my head. You're so welcome, Michelle. All right, Jennifer. I did do a reading for you, I think. Okay. Jennifer, you got Porcupine. Porcupine is innocence. Otter. Was that what I pulled for you before, Otter? This time you got Porcupine. And Porcupine is basically the inner child. It's about innocence. It's about the remembrance. Like I was saying before about, you know, the spiritual path is about awakening, about remembering. And the thing is, the medicine that Porcupine brings is the fact that the more you remember who you are, it's a surrendering into your greatness. It's because we're already whole, we're already divine, we're already high frequency. And it's all those things that are shoved on us and cover us over from our education and expectations and obligations and blah, 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 that makes us forget that innocence. And whenever we are able to surrender into that wholeness that we already have, that divine perfection that we already are, that we're already protected. We don't need to continue protecting ourselves. Innocence is its own protection. I always talk about porcupine as a star. If you like take all those quills and see each quill as a ray of light, and you can see porcupine as this little star, this brilliant little star with all this light radiating out, right? It's because of all of that radiating out that nothing can get in to harm him. And his quills aren't, it is not an armor he puts on, it is an expression of who he is. And so from his innocence comes this protection so that he can maintain his innocence. He can still wander down the woodland path at his own pace. He can explore all the curious things in the woods, every little nook and cranny, without fear of being attacked because he's taken care of. And it's by surrendering into that wholeness, surrendering into that high frequency that we already are, because the higher your frequency, the more light you radiate out. And the higher the frequency of that light you're radiating out, it keeps anything from a lower nature coming in. And so, and I've said this for years, it's like everyone at some point on your spiritual path, you will have a choice. You have a choice to either continue to work within duality, where you have to constantly shield and protect yourself, or to take the step outside of duality and open up to the non-dual universe, open up and surrender to know, because the universe is one. There's only one energy. We're all part of that same energy. It's not about good versus evil. There is no evil. It's love and fear. And fear is only the absence or perceived absence of love. Love is all there is. Fear is a momentary, temporary looking away from the love that's there. And any of the atrocities, any of the things that we label evil are from fear, from the inability to see the love that is present. And when you realize that love is all you are and love is all there is, there's nothing to protect yourself from. Granted, like even in shamanism, when we like call in sacred space, we still, like we get to the middle world, we call in the compassionate spirits of the middle world. Because intention is everything, and in the middle world you can have lower frequency beings. And so, you know, we call in the upper world and the lower world spirits because those are transcendent realms, and then we call in the compassionate spirits of the middle world because this is the only world. The middle world is where we are. And that's the only world where there is apparent duality. And you can have many, it's a spectrum of vibration of the beings here. And so with your intention of creating a sacred space, you want only those spirits in the middle world that are of the frequency, that have your best interests at heart, whose intentions are similar to your own. And that isn't so much out of protection as it is out of focus. It's like, I need to do this. I'm not going to go down and ask the car mechanic to come fix my plumbing, right? And so it's like, it's not that, oh my God, we have to save ourselves from all those bad things out there. The only bad things out there are not intrinsically evil. They're misled. They're on a different path with an inability to see the love that is actually present. They are acting out of fear. They are acting out of power over, thinking they need to take power from someone else. But when you surrender to the divine being you are, there is nothing that can harm you. There is nothing that can stand against you. There is nothing more powerful than you. There is no one that is more powerful than you. And that allows you to, it's like that story of the Buddha when he sat beneath the Bodhi tree and said he wasn't going to leave until he was either dead or enlightened. And so he sat there and meditated and started to raise his frequency. And all the so-called demons were like, oh my God, we can't let him do this, or he's going to bring more people to the light and we won't have anything to do. And so they all summoned their troops and they sent barrage after barrage of flaming arrows and stones and spears and every possible instrument of war at the Buddha. But as soon as any of those hit his energy field, they turned into flowers and showered at his feet. Every arrow, every spear that hit his energy was transformed into flowers. That is the ultimate innocence, the ultimate power of the universe. We think we have to protect innocence. And I'm not going to argue that, yes, we still need to take care of our children and that kind of thing. I'm not saying that. But it's like we grow up and our whole path is aimed at trying to regain that purity, regain that innocence that we had as children, right? And if we nurtured our children rather than controlling them, the world would be a whole different place, right? So I hope that helps, Jennifer. I hope that made sense to you, whatever you're going through. But, and I know you, it's like play with abandon, because everything is play. All right, Valerie, let's see what's coming up for you. All right. All right. Awesome. I'm glad that helped, Jennifer. I'm glad that made sense. Valerie, you got grouse in reverse. So all those things I said to Michelle about the spiral of life, and we've talked about that a lot. You need to dance, love. You need to physically dance, physically move energy. You know, we could even, this is my fiance for those who don't know. You know, I've been wanting to get more into Tai Chi again, and maybe we could take a Tai Chi class together or something, just to get that energy moving. And Tai Chi is all about the spirals. It's all about the wheels within wheels within wheels, right? You know, and like when you come over, like maybe we need to make a point of dancing more, but it's like, I feel like it's physical movement. It's asking for physical movement. And something we both need to do, I think. I think I need that as well. More physical movement and to dance and to get, because it's like when you're not in that flow, when your energy's not flowing, it's like ka-chunk, you know, and then you take another step and it's ka-chunk, and there's obstacles, and then ka-chunk, and then there's another obstacle. And it's because we keep not moving that energy. And if our energy were moving and swirling, life would go a little smoother, and it would give us more options. Because when you're moving, it's easier to, like with Tai Chi, it's like basically moving out of the way of anything coming at you, diverting that energy around you. And so let's talk about that. Tai Chi, I think, would be great for both of us. I used to do it all the time, and I've gotten away from it. And I think I'm not sure if my old Tai Chi teacher is still around. He was 70-something when I was taking it from him years ago. So, but yeah, just, you know, or Qi Kung, you know, I know you've got kind of a limited space, but you might do some, look at some videos about Qi Kung. And that's something you can do in place, just wherever you are. It's mostly breathing, but it's also moving that Qi. It's like, that seems to be the important part for you, is getting that energy flowing. Kind of like what I said earlier, talking to Michelle about the, you know, the stagnant water and stuff. And it feels like this is physical, like the spirit is willing, like you want to do these things and you want to do this and that, but then it's like physically the energy isn't there to support what you want to do. And so it's about fostering that energy, fostering the physical ability to be able to support what you want to do energetically or even physically, like, you know. Not that we're going to run any marathons anytime soon or anything, but it's like the more energy you have moving, the more fit, healthy you are, better your well-being, the more options you have, right? Kind of that whole, like with the affirmations, that there's a completely harmonious solution. When your energy is moving, you just open up more options, more choices, more opportunities. So that is basically what I'm getting. Because you need, like I was saying earlier with the spiral of life, there's a need to, I think there's a big feeling of disconnection, a feeling of being isolated, not connected to everything else. And I think that's the most important thing for you right now, is to get that energy moving so that you can feel that connection. That's one of the things that Tai Chi brought to me. That was the first time, when I took Tai Chi, that was the first time I was aware of energy. You know, before I even I had heard of Reiki. I just didn't know what it was until I started doing Tai Chi. And I'd get done with Tai Chi and my hands would be buzzing, like sparkling, and it was like, holy crap, that's what they're talking about. And again, that's raising your frequency, so it's going to draw to you all the things that better suit you and all of that. So yeah, let's do that. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to pull one more card. Deb and Nancy, thank you for being on, but I think I'm hitting my wall. I need to go take a nap before bedtime. So I'm going to pull one more card for everybody. This is for everyone, whether you got a card or not. Ha! Yes! All right. Our card for tonight for everybody is Hummingbird. Joy. Follow your bliss. Follow your joy. Let go of all the heaviness. Whether it's your own expectations or the world's expectations or the feeling of obligations, etc., and just be in the moment. Lighten up. Allow yourself to experience joy. I was just watching something the other day about how, even Western medical doctors are starting to realize how important joy is to our physical well-being. It's like those who are joyous tend to live longer, they have better health, they have better everything. And so live your joy, because when you let go of the strings and now I've got that Pinocchio song in my head too, Roulette, thank you very much. I got no strings to tie me down, to make me fret or make me frown. I had strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me. Don't let the strings tie you down. Lighten up, drop the ballast, right? Drop anything that is weighing you down. Or back to the shackles on, shackles off thing. Anything that feels like the shackles on, let it go. It's not true anyway. So that you can surrender into... Careful, Roulette, or I'll start singing something that you won't be able to get rid of. So give you another earworm. But when you lighten up, when you're present in the moment, you're not carrying the past with you, you're not carrying the future with you, you're just here now with no expectations, no obligations, etc. You literally can move in any direction. You have an infinite number of choices around you, and you can move in any direction from any time at any point. You are unrestricted. You are unlimited. And that is who you are deep down in your essence. This is your default setting. Underneath everything else, you are joy. And that's what meditation and things like that are about, is about touching into the joy that's already there. The joy that's been covered over by everything else. You are intrinsically joyful. And when you do things with joy and you follow that joy, look for the sweet spots in life, then you sparkle, you're bejeweled, right? You just shine. And you're unlimited. You can zip around like crazy fast. You can hover. You can go from 0 to 100 in a split second when you're unencumbered by all the things that we encumber ourselves by, right? Unfetter yourself. Let go of the chains. Let go of the ties. Let go of anything that is preventing you from expressing the light and the love that you are. Yeah. That's part of when we end and I tell you to go shining, that's what I'm talking about. Go shining. Shine. Let your bejeweled self be seen. let yourself reflect all that light and that beauty, again, to inspire others to their own joy, to their own heart, right? So, whew. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. That is all we've got for tonight. I appreciate your watching. I appreciate your sharing this video. Again, if you would like a personal reading, a full reading, not just a single card, you can visit my website at perchingwolfstudios.net, and you can see the readings. You can see what other shamanic services I offer, healings and classes and all kinds of things, and graphic novels. I'm a cartoonist as well, so you can buy my graphic novels, my comics there as well. But you can sign up for a session with me right from my website. And you can probably learn a lot more about me if you don't know me yet. All kinds of things there. What else? So, and we will do this, been doing this every Monday night, 7 o'clock Pacific time. So come join us again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And if you feel so moved, this is my day job. I'm so overjoyed to be doing this full time. But that also means that it can be a bit tricky. And so if you feel so moved, I gratefully accept any donations you might wish to give. My PayPal information will be in the information under this when I share this video to my Facebook page, and I'm also going to upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. So if you ever need a quick reading or something or whatever, I have like 2.5 years worth of these videos on my YouTube channel. So you can just click on there, click on one of them at random, and I promise it will be pertinent. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos. That would be awesome, and I would appreciate that so much. Thank you very much. And I haven't posted it yet on my site, but Valerie just reminded me. One of the things I'm going to start doing is kind of a shamanic sampler, where you get an hour session with me, half hour reading and a half-hour healing, so that you can get kind of the both. It's kind of a mind, body, spirit kind of thing, covering all bases. So if you go on my site and just sign up for a reading for an hour or for an hour healing, and just specify that you want a half reading, half healing, we can do that. But I've been doing that lately, and I'm really enjoying it, and I think people are getting a lot out of it too. So check that out, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Join me again next week. Invite your friends, and we'll do this all again. All right. Thank you again so much for joining me. Until I see you next time, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Go shining, everybody. Bye.